Hello and welcome back to Digital Assets Daily. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in your corner of the world. Exciting times. Before we go any further, guys, hit that like and subscribe. Please share these videos as it does help significantly. But a lot of exciting things going on. We had a week ago from the most recent, the past Monday, started the migration over to ISO 20022 protocol for all the banks. For the messaging system. So I think the assets that are designed for this protocol, or I should say the protocol that is designed for these assets, however you want to flip it. I know some of you are very sensitive, potato, tomato, tomato, and if you say it wrong or spell it wrong, there's no critical thinking. And man, influencers get attacked for that one. But all humor aside, moving forward, I know all of you that follow this channel understand what's meant and intended if we actually just say the ISO tokens or the ISO 20022 tokens. Stumbling over my words this morning. Actually, just very bullish and very excited. Posted a thing ago. I was listening to some of The Cure, man. That was like, high school days, just jamming out, reminiscing. Oh man, not sure. I guess it's just the excitement took me back there. I had a great cup of coffee. I'm a huge Starbucks fan. I'm not sure what you are. I know, some of you like Starbucks, and like my wife, some of you like Dunkin' Donuts. It's like it seems like those are, your split family with the football teams. I see a lot of that going on too. One family member, the husband likes this team, the wife likes the other team, and you're divided. I'm a fan of either way. When I drink Dunkin' Donuts, it reminds me back of my dad's father. He had this old repercolator. It was like I don't even know what it was. I guess like an aluminum coffee brewer built in the actual coffee pot itself. You just plugged it in, and the very, very tip top of the cap, it had a clear glass about the size of your pinky to the first knuckle of your pinky where it bends, and you could actually just watch the coffee and you knew it was done when you could stop seeing the coffee repercolating through that little glass. So, exciting times. Great cup of coffee, great music, great news going everywhere. And again, we're down to the final 2 days where Saturday morning by 7 a.m., ISO 20022 goes live for the banking system. I think probably what the reasoning behind that is because you have a short day on Saturday for most banks. It's like a half a day or a couple hours, whatever the timeline is of your area. But it's typically like a half day here where I am. And it gives them a chance to make sure it's running smooth. Then they have 2 days over the weekend again, for more trial and error, whatever they need to get adjusted for going full speed for next week, starting on Monday. So it's very, very, very exciting. I mean, waited, some of us 5, 8, 10 years for this moment. And now it's really cool to see everything done. I think, you know what I mean? There's going to be fine details that would affect something, but I think the only real true remaining friction or hesitancy or resistance, whatever you want to place that category, would be the court case. And we're going to get into that one here shortly as well, so I don't want to go too far into my thoughts on that, but we'll catch back up with that one. I don't know if you saw on Twitter yesterday, we had Elon Musk. Man, my mind just races in so many directions. Do we want to start back where he was saying, the greatest threat to mankind when he was asked that question years ago? He said artificial intelligence, the AI. And then here we are now where he's basically reiterating that years into it when it's actually happening all around. People are designing very successful artificial intelligence. And then yesterday on Twitter, he stated, going into his stance against further AI development, basically pausing it, halting it, stopping it for now because it's damaging the job market and so much more beyond that. So let's get into the article really quick. So Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen And Twitter boss Elon Musk and Apple co-creator Steve Wozniak have signed an open letter urging AI research companies to pause the development of advanced artificial intelligence for half a year. So basically 6 months. And again, I think these guys are very credible and very significant from their opinion. I think it holds a great deal of water, as they say, on, okay, maybe we should listen to them. So overall, more than 1,100 people have left their signatures on this letter, which requests that within the next half year, no AI that can outpace the current language processor, the GPT-4, should be trained. Currently, this model of AI is powering ChatGPT, made by OpenAI, as well as the Bing and Bard systems. Elon Musk recently made several public statements against the further development of AI and against ChatGPT, in particular calling the latter woke. And this happened because ChatGPT is programmed to produce text that will not offend users in any way. And I think the worst thing for history, and I think the worst thing for conversation, and the worst thing, period, is the non-offensive thing. I mean, I'm from Generation X. I don't know how many of you are out there. I mean, feel free to drop a comment. Do a little Gen X if you are down below. But Gen X, I mean, you could say anything to anybody, and we weren't thin-skinned. We weren't like brainwashed to be so emotional and so sensitive. Nobody cared. I mean, it was almost like a badge of honor if somebody complimented you, or whether it attacked you, it became a compliment, and you took it either which way. You know, if you didn't like it, you just changed it. You didn't really care. You took it as like constructive criticism, not like an attack. I mean, even going back to, man, the 70s. I was a 70s baby, so you literally could hear anything walking down the street, and it wouldn't be taken in any kind of offensive manner. And I mean, I'm a preacher's kid, so I grew up like in so much diversity, and we traveled all over. So it's one of those things where it's, your mentality changes, I guess, whenever you're raised to be a free thinker. And I don't mean that in any kind of a political way. I mean, just period. Going up in, elementary, junior high, and high school, all the teachers that we had, they basically would, say it even literal out loud, like question everything. We would, for example, here was a class, oh man, I forget which class, history or English or something like, I believe it was history class actually. Had this science teacher, can't remember his name, but he was really young for a teacher, male teacher, very, very cool guy, very like open-minded. I mean, for him, you could see the Northern Lights and call him at 2 a.m. and you'd get extra credit the next day. Just really cool people that was surrounding. But having said that, there was a discussion in the class, because that was what made his class really fun. They were just like open discussions. Like somebody started a conversation, you'd keep it going. Somebody would add to it, and you'd have 2 or 3 different conversations going on. But everybody would keep them all going at the same time. So that was really, really, really fun. We called those brainstorm conversations, where you could have multiple conversations going and keep them all live. So that was really, really, really fun. So one of the guys, raised his hand. And he's like, teacher, the difference is, though, these guys are authors. They publish books, and the school's actually using their books. So they're very smart, very credible, more than us. So why would you tell us to question them when the schools don't apparently seem to? And he said, let me ask you this. Why do you think this guy's opinions are more credible than your own? He said, well, he's an author. I mean, look at his book. He wrote a book. The school's using it. He said, then write a book. If you have a book, now what's the difference between you and he? And he said, I guess maybe the school choosing to use it or not. He's like, well, then send it to the education department. He's like, any hesitation that you have, there's a solution. He said, look through life, you can have an excuse or a solution. There's only 2 choices. Take your pick. And that was a pretty cool thing as a young guy, like looking back at that. But I just think it's pretty amazing. And, we had other people going through the different conversations, kind of rambling on today, but we never do this. And, I've been asked to do this, so I'm going to kind of just change it up a bit. I hope you don't mind that. So we had another thing talking about the careers. That conversation led off on how different careers began, or how people are focused in their life and moving on in their job and their choice of work and what they're doing. And then you'd have people come back, whether they're a scientist, whether they're a doctor, they're a lawyer, they're, NASA, they're an astronaut or whatever. So the teacher would respond back with that. Well, then go to school to be that person, if that's the person you think is the most credible. And again, just the reasoning for this whole conversation is just pretty much going to think out of the box. Critical thinking is amazing. It's a gift. Teach your friends that, practice that, teach your children that, because the critical thinking goes back into common sense. It goes into clarity of everything. If you start using critical thinking, and as the teacher told us as kids, question everything. And it's a really cool thing that you go into. And that's I guess kind of the reason I try to minimize giving any perspective or any thoughts, and I figure you guys probably just want the straight news because you have your own thoughts and your own opinions when you see the news anyway. But I guess from time to time, maybe I'll just ramble a little bit, as I don't really do it. And this is probably one of the first that we kind of got into this, but maybe it's a good thing because it'll open up this channel a little bit different and make it a little bit more exciting from time to time. And here's another thing too. I don't know if you followed Kramer on the news or on our channel. We've posted a few things recently of him, but I thought this was pretty funny. And then I had two different thoughts on that. End quote, the kiss of death for Ripple and XRP, as Kramer says, SEC may lose to Ripple. I don't know. I mean, if you know of something that he's right on, again, feel free to comment below, like, he's gotten this right. I don't know of really anything. Technically, everything I've seen from him that he's posted is a good investment has completely crashed, especially recently. I never really followed him until recently, and everything he says is good has just completely total flop. So here's my thoughts on this. Does he know something that we don't, and they're going to, end quote, lose to the security? Ripple has the budget to basically pay the fees and move along, so it won't really be a permanent thing. Or, which I feel more like I'm leaning towards, or is this, end quote, kiss of death for Ripple, him trying to gain credibility because the XRP army and the XRP community has posted a lot on him recently in regards to all these banks that he's promoted and have completely just flopped and crashed. So I feel like it's more of the latter. Like he's trying to start getting his credibility back, knowing that they are going to win. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, I feel like it's days away. And they could possibly even start as soon as like April 1st, Happy New Year to everyone. And that's going to be, as we say, a very, very happy new year if everything continues to stay on track. I would love to see personally, anywhere from now till April 1st, or even on April 1st, Ripple to come out, or the judge to come out, or SEC to come out and say, the case is over. They have clarity now. XRP is not a security moving forward, blah, blah. To me, that'd be very exciting. I think on top of the ISO 20022, my mind just scrambles back to Brad Garlinghouse saying 95% of his customers are outside of the USA. They have 90% of the FX market, and over 50% of that is on the ODL. Now, you give them clarity, and they win the case that XRP and Ripple, not a security, move forward. I mean, just the FOMO alone is going to send the price absolutely crazy, because I keep flashing back again to when Bank of America said they would be the first bank to use it in the U.S., and also too knowing that Ripple is in their patent for the entire new system. That's massive. So again, going into XRP price to $3, Peter Brandt spots extremely rare pattern. not really going into the article. Just I wanted to bring up the $3. If it can't go past the all-time high of $3.84 that it achieved on January, I believe it was 15th or the 18th in 2018, I believe they failed. And I'm very, very, very bullish, and I don't think they failed at all. I think we would, if nothing else, if the case ended, if they had no volume, which they have significant according to Brad Garlinghouse, if they had no volume, just the FOMO alone would shoot them, I believe, 4x that. I don't see how even the FOMO couldn't shoot it past $12. Again, I'm very bullish. To me, I'm invested in XRP for the 4 to 5 digits. And that's where I'm waiting patiently for this to go. And guys, remember, it's not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But I wanted to kind of change up the show today and just kind of share a thought. I've had so many conversations with so many of you privately. And I think it's just very exciting. I think we're here in the final yard, getting ready for the touchdown. I think we're going to see something very, very significant. Again, April alone is so massive for our investments, and I think it's just going to be exciting to see this unfold right in front of us. It's been a long time. It's been a very crazy road, crazy path. Man, we've seen so much happen over the past, I'll even stop it at 2015. Since 2015, it has just been pretty unreal what's happened in the crypto industry, in the crypto community. Just seeing all of the progress that's been made from basically everyone being frightened and afraid of it, saying it's a scam, craziness in the wild, wild west. I mean, it's insane. And it's only getting better and better for, transferring wallet to wallet. I don't know if you've ever done it, but now it's really simple. It's almost like a single click on many transfers now. You can use the QR code and scan. Before, you had so many digits. I don't even know. I've never even paid attention. And you'd have one little single letter or number that you missed, overlooked, and forgot, and just lost everything you sent. Those were not fun days. But I think, starting in April 1st, I think things turn around for all of us and gets very, very exciting. Again, guys, be safe out there. Be smart. Remember the rules. What we often say on this channel: never overinvest. Never invest more than you can afraid to hold long term. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Stumbling again, man. My mind is racing. I'm very excited, very bullish. But most important of all, if you haven't heard anything else but this one point, when you get your money, do not treat it like free income and blow it and get back where you were or worse. Whenever you get it, treat it as the earned income for all of your patience and all of your time. Get financial advice. Be very smart with it. Protect that money and have an amazing future. Let it change your life and generations within your family name. And guys, love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support over the years. It's been amazing. If I don't say it, you guys are absolutely awesome, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Seriously. But as always, before we go, I want to leave you with a final thought. Just never give up. Try to believe in yourself, and don't let negativity wear you down. Much love, and we will catch you in the next one.